Good morning. It's about 8:35. I just got off the BTS at Sanam. One stop past Victory Monument, and down the tracks you can see the next stop, which is Ari, kind of a arty coffee shop and little bar place. Ari's a super cool area of town. I've been there many times. I don't think I've explored this Sanam. So let's check out the area around the BTS on this, what is it, Wednesday morning. We're a couple of stops from Piatai and the airport rail link out to Suvarnabhumi, and 4 or 5 stops, I didn't count, to Siam Paragon, and then these are all guesses, maybe 10 stops to Asok and the Terminal 21 area. I came from Prampong and we got here in a little over 20 minutes. And according to the exit signs, which are in Thai and English, we have the Piatai Hospital, the Royal Thai Army Radio and Television Station, 2nd Cavalry Division of the King's Guard. So when I wandered around Victory Monument, I did see a lot of government and military bases. Up Victory Monument is also the, I want to say it's called the Royal Thai Air Army and Air Force Hospital. And I'll just show you on the map exactly where we are. Sanam, that Victory Monument, Piatai, Ratatouille, Siam. That's where Siam Paragon, and you can switch trains to the other line, head out to the river and Sapan Taksin. But if you continue down the light green line, you'd go Chit Lom, Plon Chit, Nana, Asok, Prampong, Tong La, Ekamai, Prakanong, Onut, and on down the way to Bering, Samrong, etc. And almost attached to the BTS station is a Vibe Hotel, maybe 6-7 stories tall, a Best Western property. And it looks like a nice selection of smaller apartment buildings. So let's get out and check out the neighborhood. The Hungry Brown Express Coffee and Bakery. And the first soy I'm coming to is Payan Yotin Soy 3. I'm going to take a left and check out the neighborhood. Thought I saw a couple of condos tucked away back there. We're about 100 feet from the BTS stairs. And here's a hotel called the Vic 3. Smaller, 5-6 story. Now I'm going to go down where the motorbikes are taking a turn there. But I see a little alley here where there's a couple of buildings that are very close to the BTS. So let's go see what those are. And that's the building that caught my attention. It says the A Bloom Serviced Apartments. And there's another interesting building next door. I think I'm in the alley where the cars enter the parking lot. So I might have to get out on the other street. I believe this is the backside to that Best Western property. It's really nice. And here's the A Bloom, exclusive serviced apartments. I'm guessing I can cut through here and sign to the Hungry Brown. Okay, the Hungry Brown was out on the main street. Well, I'm going to at least cut through and get over to the front side of the building. It's actually a pretty big property, 2 towers. Now walking out to the front, there's another place across the way called the Bangkok Patio. We have a decision to make. Head off in this direction, and it looks like it's heading us right back to the BTS. There's the Bangkok Patio. Or head over here. So I'm gonna go here for now and at least see what's around the corner. I see another small building right there. I think that guy's selling CDs. But right next to the Bangkok Patio, I thought these were smaller apartment buildings. These are just a couple of businesses. Let's head around this corner and see where it goes. We are feet from the BTS station. I don't know, 300 feet away if these buildings weren't in the way. Okay, here's a Bangkok Tripe Sabaya Health Massage. Little 4-story office building. I'm trying to be careful. It is kind of rush hour. People are sneaking up behind me in those electric cars. And There's a huge office building being built right on the side of the BTS. And that's getting our boundaries. And it looks like I'm on the back entrance to another at least 3-tower apartment complex. I might have to go around to the front. And if you're following along on Google Maps in another window, I'm now walking in the direction towards Victory Monument. Just leaving that Bloom Service Departments. I'm now gonna take a right here and well, this is a beautiful private home. I'm gonna take a right and again, sticking close to the BTS, see what the different condo and apartment options. There is a divider here, it's open. This has the feel of maybe army barracks, so we'll see. I know I've wandered around the Victory Monument area and I'll end up on what I'm assuming is a base. No, maybe not. They might just be apartments. That looks a little bit more like a government building across the way. But let's go up one more block. We're still very close to the BTS. Again, right on the other side of the building with the crane will be the BTS station. And I think that's Channel 5 on the other side of the street, or tracks. So we can wander back here another reasonable distance from the train. And more construction back here. It looks like they're building at least 3 or 4 more towers. It's definitely an authentic Thai neighborhood back here. I'd mentioned in a couple other videos, somebody left an interesting comment about why are you calling this area a very local Thai neighborhood compared to another area? And I don't mean to generalize, but when you're up by Phrom Phong or Asok or anywhere like that, it's all westernized and KFCs and McDonald's, and not that that's a good thing, but it's definitely a more western feel, where you come to some of these other parts of Bangkok and it's more local living. So if I'm calling this building here, or these 3 buildings in a row, a little bit more authentic Thai neighborhood, I'm just meaning no frills, no fancy pools, none of that you're gonna find everywhere in Phrom Phong, Ekamai, etc. Nothing wrong with saving some cash and living in one of these affordable buildings in a major expensive city, but you can pay as little or as much as you want here in Bangkok. See, this is almost, I won't call it a government housing, or maybe it is, I don't know. This is building 14, 15, 16. You see it going all down the way. So probably, right or wrong, say what you want to say, there's probably not a lot of expats living in there. It's a little bit more basic accommodations, and I don't mean to say you have to live where all the other expats live, but it's going to make your life a little simpler when, well, for instance, yesterday my bathroom light was, I don't know if the little connection came off, and I've changed a light or 2 in my time, but this 220 electricity and all, yeah, I'm just not going to mess with it. So I went down to the office. They speak perfect English, explained the situation. The guy was up there in 5 minutes changing out the wiring on my bathroom light. If I'm going to get that same level of service, if you want to call it that, at one of these more rustic buildings, I doubt it. So just keep that in mind when you're considering saving a couple $100 a month. And once again, getting our boundaries, we're going to use the buildings with the crane on it. That is the BTS station. The more government style buildings are behind me. Here's a soccer pitch, and it looks like 2 pretty nice buildings just on the other side of the soccer field. The person in the comments, she really got me thinking. It was a very nice comment. Hey, I'm not putting you down. I like your channel, on and on. But you and other YouTubers, when you say, I've walked into a very Thai neighborhood, you know, she made it sound like that almost seems a little offensive. I mean, they're all Thai neighborhoods. They're all in Bangkok. I guess maybe what I should say is, over here, this is a very Thai-style building. And this building over here, or these two, are a little bit more westernized. This is somewhere in the middle. This isn't by any means a fancy building. Even my building, even though it's, I don't know what it is, 20 years old, something like that. It was a fancy building back in the day, and it's holding its own with its pool and gym, and other areas are going to be more basic accommodations, that's for sure. Especially when you get out of the main Sukhumvit area, your soy from, let's say, soy 2 up to soy 50. That's all pretty tons of Western options. There's going to be less Western style buildings as you get further away. And that's a conversation you'll have to have for yourself. I hate being ugly expat and I have to live in a Western area and all this and that. But trust me, even living in a Western building in a more expat-friendly area of Bangkok, there's no mistaking you're in Bangkok. Myself personally, I know there's people that come to Thailand and head to the country in Isan and all this and that, and the last thing they would ever want to do is live in a busy city like Bangkok. Myself, I love Bangkok, but I also like a nice steakhouse once in a while. Now the larger building straight ahead, the BTS tracks are on the other side. It just seems like a basic Thai neighborhood back here. So I'm gonna head back closer to the train and see if I didn't see a big building like a Life building. You'll see those everywhere. And normally they're close to the BTS. They cost a little bit more. It's more expensive real estate, but you're not walking back a mile into the neighborhood. And once again, the thing with Bangkok, accessibility and getting around, sometimes it's a little tricky. So I need to get over on the other side of this building, and there's a locked gate. So I'm curious as to what this building is. And this is that soccer field off to the left here. But I won't be surprised if I have to backtrack my exact steps to get out of here. In other parts of the world, it's kind of laid out. The neighborhood's in a grid system, and you can get from point A to point B from anywhere. Not so much in Bangkok. Oftentimes, it's one way in and one way out. And be very careful as I'm walking along filming. I have to be extra careful. There are obstacles like this to keep motorbikes from taking certain shortcuts. And yeah, if you're just walking along, that'll face plant you in a big hurry. Now this is a beautiful piece of sidewalk here. The other problem myself and many YouTubers say over and over and over is oftentimes they don't lay sidewalk, they lay pavers. And when they go askew, it might be just a 3-inch bump waiting to trip you. And like I suspected, I came right back how I entered. So I'm gonna go up and take a left past that All Bloom residence. Once again, there's the train on the other side of that building. And we'll explore off in the other direction. At least a block or two. Without meaning to sound like high and mighty, that A Bloom service apartments, that seems to be your best bet for a little bit nicer, fancier place, which even a little ways away from the Siam Paragon area, it's probably going to come at a pretty affordable rate. Now, I understand some of these different government buildings and all, they are probably super, super affordable. Once again, you're going to have to make the decision on is it worth living in a totally no-frills building, which might even have a shared toilet down the hall, or do you want to live in a nice little apartment with maybe a small gym and a pool, which is still going to be $500 or less. And I'm making all these numbers up. I just know I don't spend much more than $500 in the heart of one of the fancier parts of Bangkok. The further you get out, although RE years ago, probably 10 years ago, that was the happening spot. I live in RE, and all the cool coffee shops and poetry slams and on and on. I haven't heard so much about things happening in RE lately. I walked around probably 2 months ago, and yeah, there were plenty of cool little cafes and a lot of things going on. And from here, it's well, you could walk there. It's just the next train stop. And we're back at the Bangkok patio on the left, and the A Bloom on the right. I'm just gonna head up here a couple of 100 feet, and I see another kind of major street to take me back out to the BTS tracks. And if memory serves me, that architecture building that looks like a rocket off in the distance, that's RE. So that's how close we are. My street, Sukhumvit Soi 26, is also called RE, but this is the RE BTS. And when you say we're heading to RE to a cool record store, they're talking about this RE, not Soi 26. And here's the Silk building. This looks really nice. And you can cut right through that A Bloom and pop out right at the BTS, so that's a nice shortcut. And you'll have to forgive me, I always pronounce the name of the main street incorrect. Is it Pia Yoten? Is that the street the BTS runs over? I'm doing my best with my pronunciations. At least I'm saying Pia Thai instead of Pia Thai anymore. And one more Silk property about 100 feet away. You can kind of size up the size of the unit. And if you'd like to do a Google search on the building, there you go. You can check out HIPFLAT, H-I-P-F-L-A-T. It's a realtor's website, which may or may not be up to date. I called probably 25 properties on HIPFLAT, and one person called me back. So some of it is, I'm not going to say clickbait, but a little bit. They might put an ad for, here's a 10,000 baht apartment, and when you call, nobody answers. Or they might say, yeah, that's gone. I have a 19,000 baht apartment. But it will at least show you all the buildings and plenty of pictures of the facilities and the insides of the unit. Now, also very close to the BTS is this more basic apartment building, yet it appears very clean. Maybe clean up the wires a little, but that's just a part of Bangkok. And you can see the BTS train going by on the track, so that's how close this Silk building is. And this is actually another tower up here on the right. No, this isn't a Silk. It's the Pehal 3 residence. 8 stories tall. And we made our way back to where we started in that Vic 3. I'm calling it a hotel just because I saw people in suitcases loading out front. And off to the left appears to be a large office building. Yeah, it came from the BTS right there where the cars are turning. When I was going to walk up this street, then I got sidetracked and shot up this little side soi. And ended up at the back of that A Bloom. So we just did a big loop around the neighborhood, but that gives you an idea what to expect. Feet from the BTS. And just down the way a couple 100 feet, you can see the Sanam BTS. And this is Payan Yoten Street Boulevard. And I'm not going to walk all the way down to RE, but let's see if that is an apartment building or an office building. Looks like a condo. Don't see anything on the other side of the street condo-wise. Just a lot of offices and smaller government buildings. Up here is the Phia Thai district office of something. It looks like we have one nice condo building tucked away on the other side. And that other side, if I'm going to halfway pronounce this correct, Pia Yoten Road, Soi 2. And I thought this might be a condo or apartment building, but I think it's offices with a coffee shop down below. And I'm more than halfway up to Ari, so I'm just going to keep going. Here's the post office. There hasn't been another left turn. I believe we were exploring Soi 3, and I see Soi 5 ahead. So we're just going to take a quick look down the way. If I don't see any large condos, I might just keep walking up to Ari. I can see it a short distance down the way. And here's Vespa Clinic, Viva la Vespa Festival. And here's the Ari Vet with a cool little Kawasaki sitting out front. And maybe 700 feet down the way, you can see the Ari BTS station. And this is Soi 5. I do see one building tucked away, so let's at least get the name of that building. I'm not sure if we've switched into the Ari neighborhood. If you were to live in this building, you'd probably get off at Ari. And here's a place called Remedies, which I'm assuming is a dispensary. Japanese restaurant. And here's Kenny's. I believe I've heard of this place. I think it's pizza. And some different restaurants. This street is looking very familiar. I think I explored around here when I was out filming Ari a couple of months ago. And yeah, that building's tucked away back there in the Ari area. And there's Hiso Sushi Japanese restaurant. And this is Soi 5 coming off the main street. I was trying to see what that building was, if it was right here on Soi 5, which it's not. And it looks like there's a couple interesting things down here. If I'm not mistaken, about where that van is, off to the left, there was a bar where you could spin vinyl. If I'm where I think I am. And that's a big if. This place looks interesting. Charm Eatery and Bar. And a fancy coffee bar called Matcha for Everyone. Yeah, the closer you get to Ari, the fancier and trendier it's going to get. And again, I don't mean to say move to Bangkok and stay in a Western trendy area, but yeah, eating Thai street food every day. Sometimes you just want to go to, I don't even drink coffee, but I'm glad there's some nice coffee shops in my neighborhood. It kind of makes the neighborhood nice. Yeah, and this is not where the vinyl place I was thinking of was. I like these cool older Thai houses just tucked away in the trees. I'm sure they're a nightmare to maintain. I had one big bougainvillea like that, one with the purple flowers, and that thing was lifting the roof off my house. Pretty evasive plants. So I am going to get back on the main road and walk up towards the Ari BTS. Yeah, these bougainvilleas are, or whatever it's called over here, but it's bougainvillea. It's beautiful, but it will lift the roof off your house. The bigger it gets, just winds around everything and just keeps growing. And we're approaching the main street, Yotan. We'll make a left. We're almost to Ari. Never any shortage of street food. There's a couple of dentists in this area. Assuming that fancy building is the Pearl. I called it a rocket ship looking building earlier. Or is it the Pruxa building? I'm not positive. And across the street is the Vanit place. Very large high-rise. Yeah, and it says Pruxa on the window, so maybe it's the Pruxa building, or is that the name of a business? You'll have to forgive me, I'm a new guy. What is that, the EXIM building? And across the way is an interesting building. If you're into architecture, there are plenty of unique structures around town. There are a couple of large complexes, including that one I was trying to get to from Soi 5. There's another building next door. Does that say Noble Light? Let's go back and take a peek. Just over the hedges, there's something called TLMS, which has a nightclub vibe. And that's the building I was interested in. But as I come over here, there's a smaller all brick building that's really sharp. I see a gate down the way, but it looks like it's open. We'll get the name of these two buildings. Motorbike parking for the large office complex. And that's a nice CRF 250. Here's a little wine shop, Wine RE. And off to the right is the Vertical RE. That's the building I was walking to, and yeah, it looks like Soi 5 connected through, but sometimes you'll walk for 5 minutes all the way to the end of the street and there's a dead end down there. It would make sense that the road goes through, but it doesn't always make sense. Now this is the Centric building on the other side. Both these buildings are a 5-6 minute walk to RE BTS. I think there's one more on the corner. I'm going to get the name for you. Well, the technical full name is the Centric RE Station. And that other building was just a second tower of the Centric. And not meaning to sound like a snob, but that if it was government housing, that area I was walking around, there's no real reason to head right to that area and get an apartment when you can come not even a half a kilometer away and be in this very beautiful area if you can afford it. It's all about what you want to pay. I'm just putting the options out there for you, and you'll make your own decision. Now, most of my Thai friends, they're going to live in that Centric building just because I know them from different areas that expats hang out, and folks that are going to live in those more affordable buildings, well, they're not going to be in an Irish pub paying whatever it is, $3, and that's even kind of cheap for a pint. It can go closer to $10 in many places around Bangkok. Now this is the Bangkok Cancer Specialized Hospital. Looks like a smaller hospital. And an Arabica coffee bar. That's kind of the theme of RE. A lot of coffee places, small bars, little tiny 10-seat restaurants. It's just a super kind of trendy area. What's this ahead? The Lost Prison Escape Room. Games, okay. And here's that TLMS. I'm guessing it's a nightclub, but I'm not sure. These are all kind of too cool for school type businesses. Yeah, and we're in the heart of RE now. Here's the Hidden Cafe across the way. That's the BTS tracks, and that's how close we are to the main street. This is a little street food behind this office building. But I'm all about exploring just one street back, the little quieter areas where you can, I got a mixed berry drink, where you can find the little, well, homemade ice cream, which sounds good. And this is a smaller apartment complex. I don't see a name yet. And just a little peek down the way. If we take a quick right turn at the end of the road here, we will be at the RE BTS. And here's a plant-based eatery. And there's going to be all kinds of condo options right at this popular RE BTS. And this is the Noble Red building. And pretty handy, right below is a bakery. It looks like a cupcake store, Whittyville. Scones. Just all kinds of smaller places hid away in these little side mazes. Japanese curry. Well, there's a RE Story hostel. And that was Soi RE1. We made our way down 50 feet away. Those are the BTS tracks. And about 2 minutes later, we're at the RE BTS station. So thank you so much for following along. I appreciate you watching. Have a great morning.